Okay, now we'll take this sanding disc, or dowel disc, whatever, and take some of this out. What's holding it up now is just a little bit of wire that's still sticking out from getting a perfect closed fit, so we'll take some of this out. Look at that. We're getting closer and closer. That's really close. There's a little bit of out of proportionness, but the epoxy I use will fill up the gap. Yeah, I don't think I really want to go much further. Doing anything else now will just make it harder to try to get together. Okay. Let's get a little more of this right here. I noticed that it's holding it up. Other than that, we're not going to do much more of this. You see where it's a little uneven right here. Yeah, there's a gap, but it's getting better and better. This is actually going to work easier than I thought it was. That's not bad. Alright, well, I think that's as far as we need to go, but boy, that takes a whole different shape now. That's going to be cool. Now that we got rid of this, once we get that together, hopefully your imagination is as good as mine. I'm sure you can't see. I'm trying to hold everything so I can see it with my eyes, so everything you're looking at is different than what I'm looking at. But let's see here, hold on. There's the gap right there that I'm working with on the top, and that's the gap on the bottom. Hold on, let me get it situated here. The gap on the bottom is just a little more uneven. Whoops. It's hard to hold it straight. flush. Yeah, got a more uneven gap on the bottom. So this section here needs to come down a little more. Just gotta go a little at a time. You want as much surface area touching as possible, so the glue has a much better chance of bonding better. Afterwards is useless. Look at that. It's getting better and better. So yeah, that's not bad. Now that we're getting some surface area. Okay, well, I think what we're going to do now is make up some epoxy and put it together, and I'll see you guys when it's one piece. Alright, she's on one piece now. I've started sanding already. I'm impatient, sorry. Sometimes I forget the camera's even up there. I just get to work and don't even pay attention. But yeah, she's one piece now. It's solid. It's not going nowhere. It looks like a big gap, but it's really not. When I sanded the two pieces inside, I sanded them completely down to the clear plastic. So you're seeing the clear plastic. That's why the gap looks so wide right now. You're actually, because I sanded this piece way back. So when this one came to it, it would stick plastic to plastic, no paint in between. And that's why it looks like such a big gap. It's actually very tiny gap all the way around. I did a lot more shaping and sanding off camera because I just didn't like the way it fit together with that huge gap in the bottom. You can see right through it, and I didn't like that at all. So I just shaped it by hand with little files until I got it so it was touching everywhere all the way. And then I got the epoxy out and put it together. And now all I'm doing is roughing up the paint here. So there's a gap here. There's no doubt there's going to be a gap there. The glue's going to dry and it's going to shrink a little bit, so it's going to leave a little gap. But flush-wise, it's flush. It's really good. It came out really nice. It took the shape of the mouse really nice on both sides, all the way around. It looks really good. But of course, there's a little gap, so I'll have to fill that and then keep working it down by sanding it. But I want to sand it now, so it's just one more step ahead, because all I really want to do is focus on this once we're at this point. I don't want to fill this, sand this whole thing, and then come back and do this again. Just get this done now, because I want to shape this, get this all shaped up where I cut that off. I want to get that shaped in by hand and get it all sanded smooth. So when I'm done and I'm working on this, I'm just doing this. And then after that is done and smooth, then we can prime the whole thing. You know, it just so much faster. You spend more time doing the little things like in between all these little toes. You spend a little more time doing that when you're not worried on this right now. You just get everything sanded smooth. You know, there's always build up of the paint that was on there before, so you just knock it down and just make sure you work around these crevices really good, get good adhesion. The smoother this is now, the smoother your paint will be. I used to be a model builder. Oh, I still am. I still build models. But you spend a lot of time prepping before you paint, just so your paint looks good. All that time you spend gluing and building and make sure every piece is put together right, and people don't even see that. What they see is the end result. So I'm so used to, you know, detailed sanding, so all the paint lays level. I'm so used to doing it that I just do it naturally now on whatever I'm doing. I could be painting a sign right now and it'd still be the same deal. Attention to the details at the beginning makes the endings and results so much nicer. Smoother the better. On lures like this, after I sand this and get this gap filled and primed so it's all level and perfect, I'll dip it in clear coat and then sand it with like 3000, and then I'll start painting it. So I got a nice perfectly smooth surface to paint on before I even paint. That's just me. You do not have to do that at all. That's just me. I'm so used to being meticulous at the end result that I know what it takes to get there. See, I'm avoiding doing this right now as I'm working my way up because I want to do just that when I get to that. So I'm doing just the body right now. If I just started working my way up this, I would lose focus that I still need to do all this and work on this, work on this, and work on this, and then forget where I'm at. Just work on the body, get the whole body smooth. All your little crevices, all your little cracks and bumps and divots that you got to work around, do it now. This is where your paint lays really nice. I don't know what they were thinking when they put that green paint there. I don't think I've ever seen a mouse with green paint whiskers. Pretty sure I haven't. I'm just giving them a hard time. It's all about what the colors the fish see. It's not about what you see. Is actually shaping the plastic more than it's sanding the paint right now, making that snout perfectly smooth all the way around. I'm just using a corner and it's flexing, as you can see. I'm holding it way back here and just letting that corner do this. So it's very lightly and smoothly making that snout all the same all the way around, nice and smooth. Alright, now that we got the body sanded rough enough, I'll start working on this. This just needs to be cleaned up. It's pretty much already got the shape that it's going to have. It just needs to get those rough edges that I put on it from the Dremel taken away, and it won't take long. Even with this 1000, it'll smooth it out enough where I can continue on. Just keep the same rhythm and work your way all the way around. Don't do one side till it's shiny and then go to the other side. In other words, do it evenly, or you'll have this side flatter than this side. It's just a pain in the ass, believe me. Learn from experience. You already made the shape with the Dremel. You're not shaping it, you're smoothing it. So you can smooth the whole thing at the same time. And you'll be done a lot quicker. I'm sure this is boring, and if you're made it this far along, thank you. This cannot be fun to watch. But it's necessary that I show how to do it, because some people have never done this. And I've done it for so long, this type of stuff anyway, that I forget to say things until they dawn on me what I'm doing, and then I say it. So I could be, involved quite a bit before I even just say what I'm doing. That black line's not going to matter, because this isn't going to be clear. This is going to be painted. Whatever I paint the bottom, it's going to blend right in with the bottom of the paint. I'm not going to leave it clear at all. That was never the intentions. It was always going to be painted. I want that to blend in with the mouse. that's going to be it. We got everything sanded smooth. Now all I've got to do is just work on this gap right here. Get this filled. And once it's filled, we'll get it smooth, level, all the way around. And prime it. One piece. I still got the rattle in it. I was going to drill a hole and pop the rattle out, but I thought, ah, what the hell, it'll still float. So I just didn't want the extra weight, and I think it's in the ass end too, which is going to be weird. I'm pretty sure it's in the ass end. So, but when I pull it, it'll go up and down. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of bass hit this. Okay, got to get some stuff together and get this filled. Be right back.